right, so welcome back to another episode of Chaddy Issues, where we unpack real stories, real struggles, and real conversations about life, relationships, and everything between. I'm your host, Leb Kelly, joined by the ever so beautiful John Camilleri, or Jonesy, or Zoolander as we like to call him. And today's episode is one that's honest, raw, and incredibly important that I'm sure a lot of men can relate to across Australia. However, before we do start that, I was very blessed enough to have my 50th birthday celebrations recently, and I want to share a couple of things. So I'm very big on law of attraction, and you can't make this stuff up. So Sarah, my beautiful fiancée, and I went to a couple of different shops looking for a cowboy hat. They just never had one that fitted me or one that I wanted or whatever. Then I also went with the boys while I was working. We were driving past a horse place and went looking for more hats, never found one. And the boys were like, they came in the shop, they were kind of a bit frustrated for me. I got the best staff, Chris. I owe them my life, right? They're like, I said to them, don't worry. I said, something will come up. So at my 50th, a guy that I've probably known the least out of all my friends ended up getting me the best cowboy hat that just so happened to fit perfect. That's called the law of attraction, but that's how it works. And I'm forever grateful. So, and along the way, I've made mental note. When you go through rough times, the ones that you think will help you don't help, and the ones that you don't expect to help, they just come out of nowhere. God sends these people just to help you, mate. Like Anthony is one of them, and his beautiful wife Vivian. They actually run Bon Vivant Auto Care. They do wraps and stuff like that, and apparently he's one of the best ones in Melbourne. So I plan on plugging and helping people as much as I can that really have helped me unconditionally. My big thing is never forget where you've come from, and when you light the path, when you show people the light, you also light the path for others, and that's what I'm trying to do here today, and for yourself. So I'm joined today by Chris from the 50/50 Parenting Foundation. I forgot your surname. Is it Marles?
Marles, M-A-R-L-E-S.
Chris Marles. Thanks, Chris. As I said, he's from the 50/50 Parenting Foundation. Chris has lived through a journey that touches on many of the issues we talk about here. Growing up, building a life from the ground up, becoming a parent, which is the best thing in the world, navigating business, and then facing one of the toughest challenges anyone can go through, a difficult separation, and the realities of the family law court system. And today we're going to be talking about, we're going to walk through his story from his early years right up to where he is now, exploring not just what happened, but how it shaped him, what he's learned, and what others can take from it. Thanks, Chris, again for being here.
All good, brother.
Who is Chris Marles?
What's that, sorry?
Who is Chris Marles?
Who is Chris Marles? Chris Marles is just an Aussie dude in Australia, mate, that, just batting along trying to help support Aussie men that are going through this terrible time once they've lost everything from the misuse of family law.
It's
but,
not.
Are you talking about when I first? Who is Chris Marles was or is?
You can say pre this, I suppose. Describe yourself as a person, what your values are,
Oh, mate, I'm a motor mechanic by trade, hard worker.
Passionate about cars, I see. Still.
Oh, yeah, I build cars. I got into the car tuning side of things, and that's something that I really enjoy and building, and so I'm using my purpose and passion, so I'm building cars now, and I'm giving them away as a trade promotion. Anyone that wants to help support the 50/50 Parenting Foundation, once they donate to that, I gift them extra tickets. It's just, I'm trying to give back with what I do. You're doing a purpose and passion now, guys, you know what I mean? But
good on you. I probably would have saved this question for later, but it's funny because I had this thought the other day. Obviously, we're trying to push unity between men and women, and for that to happen, there needs to be accountability on both sides. And I saw a clip the other day online where a guy was cheating. Why is it okay for a woman to trash his car? Why does women laugh at when they trash a man? If they want respect, right? Why is it okay, encouraged, and almost like expected that a woman trashes? Yes, he did cheat, but doesn't give you the right to trash his car.
yeah, I'd be more pointing the finger back at him, saying, "Hey, mate, you shouldn't have been cheated. That's fucking,
100%, 100%,
moralistically
Chris.
not right." But then again, she shouldn't have reacted the way she did
It's not
either.
acceptable. It's not acceptable. Just look, the lowest form of humanity.
Both is not acceptable
Yeah,
right now.
exactly. But if we're going to go there and do things properly, then no one has a right to damage anyone's property. Very simple, you know.
100%.
Yeah. Um, so moving forward, I like to go deep with this stuff, Chris. I like to talk about early childhood and stuff because it shapes everyone. Can you tell us
Let's get into it.
Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood? What kind of environment you grew up in?
I was one of four boys. I'm a twin, one of the eldest. I had a twin brother. His name's Lindsay. My mum, how she treated me in that upbringing, because I was always faster, better, stronger, wiser. So I always got beat down growing up, but that forged me into who I am today. The upbringing, it was good. We moved around a lot when we were younger, so I wanted a stable home for when I was an adult, and that sort of shaped me into, all right, get my business. I started my own business, mechanic business at 30. I was doing really well. I was making $5,000 a week. I fucking paid my house off, all this shit. So I wanted to forge a nice, stable home environment for when I have a family.
So two things on that.
Um,
Two things on that. So when you say your mum kind of beat you down because you were faster and strong and stuff, does that affect you at all today?
Nah, it just makes me it gave me that at the time maybe, but now I look back, it kind of made me want to go even harder
Yeah,
and
that's actually
stronger,
a really good thing.
faster.
And the reason I ask is that you've handled it well, because that sort of situation still affects a lot of adults till now. So good on you. And the other thing is this: it's funny that you mentioned moving around a lot. I moved around a lot as a kid, and I'll tell you now, Chris, if you're moving as a family together to a different state and cool, that's fine. But when you come from a challenging family, it's probably not the ideal situation for a kid. And I was exactly like you because I'd moved around a lot. All I ever want to do is start my own business and build a home for my kids. And I did that. And in 2020, things changed. As you know, we were booted out the house, and eventually we've just sold that house after 5 years. But so for me, building a home is very, very important, and everyone needs stability. So yeah, and relationship with dad.
Oh, let's let's me and Dad, I'll just tell you a little thing. So I dropped out of school in grade 10, right? And
Far out.
my mum and dad split at that. And so we were given like four boys, the two twins were going with my dad, and the two younger boys were going with my mum. My mum took off up to Townsville. I'm left with dad. So I'm working at Woolworths as fruit and veg, yeah. And I did that, and then I got an apprenticeship as a mechanic. But in that time frame, my dad met a woman from Austria, and she made him choose between us and her, like between the kids and her. My dad chose her. So at 14 and 9 months, 15, we're living out of home in a granny flat that my dad, said, "Oh, I'll fucking pay half the rent. You guys give me all your pay and survive." I'll tell you what, that was one of the toughest times of my life.
Did he
I
actually
thought that
take
was
off?
tough, guys.
Did he
And
take?
then at the
Yeah.
age of fucking 40, mate, I have no money, no house, no car, no access to nothing, homeless. I was actually in a worse position at 40 than I was at that 15.
So
Yeah,
we'll
go
touch on
figure that.
we'll
But
touch on
yeah, that
what you just said there because that resonates with me. So I came here when I was 6 years old, and my
yeah,
parents went back to Lebanon. I was 15. So a little bit similar to you. So basically, at the start, when my parents said to me, "This is how the conversation went," I said, we're moving back to Lebanon." And I'm thinking, "Yeah, right." A week later, we got a shipping container in the front yard. So I was like
yeah,
wrapped. I could go out with my mates, drinking at that time, running amok. Imagine being a 15. I was going to nightclubs at 15. I was
yeah,
wrapped.
wow.
But when reality came in at 18, when I stayed around and renting and here and there, I did, even though my parents loved me, I loved them dearly, I did feel abandoned from. So how did you feel about that?
Yeah, I felt abandoned. It was pretty tough. I actually at the age of 18, so it was only 2 years living like that. Yeah, we had house parties and it was pretty wild. It was cool. Everyone thought we had the life, but deep down, I just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
And it was hard, emotionally, mentally. financially, just everything, mate. It was fucking hard. And so I moved up to Townsville where my mum was. And then I was away from my friends and I missed my friends. So it was like a fucking catch-22. Like I wanted it all, but I couldn't. So I ended up coming home.
I'm exactly like you, dude, when it comes to like, man, by the time I got to 18, 19, I just wanted a home. I just wanted, some normality. And that's how kids go.
I've been looking for that home environment that whole time, and I built my home to have it stripped from me.
I was just going to say, we end up building a home with 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. That got stripped from us too. And by the way, without going into this too much, and I really don't want to look behind, I could have saved that house, okay, but I was never given the option. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. So, So anyway, but we've actually, how's this? This is a great lesson in this. So when I was doing really well, I would always take the kids for a drive to the lower socioeconomic areas, you can call them that, or the shitholes around Melbourne. And I really wanted to. Well, I came from there. I came from Housing Commission, so I can say that. So I really want to show my kids that the way they've grown up is not how most people grow up. Like they're in a middle class kind of healthy position. And I remember driving many occasions around with them, and they're trying to understand what I'm saying, but they kind of didn't, right? So anyway, as they got older, and our life changed, they actually mentioned that with me, how our lives changed. But now we're in a 3-bedroom. I'm living in the lounge room at the moment, 1 bathroom, okay? And we've never been happier. Never been happier because we're safe, and we're a unit. So I get it, brother. I get it. And that's probably what hurts us a lot when we have all that swept from underneath us, especially knowing how important, that's all we ever really wanted,
100%.
What were some of the key influences in your life? Say a couple of negative ones and the positive ones that steered you on the right path?
Negative were people that were doing drugs and alcohol and all that type of shit. They never grew up. They were always stuck in that. I'm not going to name names, but a close family member of mine is 20 years just down that drug path, mate, and sad to watch. You can't bring him back. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink, and that's exactly the same as that drug path. But that was a deterrent for me not to go down that same route. I'm not going to name names. It was very, very close.
I get it. Can I be honest, Chris? I think in Australia we really have a drug and alcohol problem in Australia. I think we do.
100%.
I think we do, man. I think,
and it's a coping mechanism for them.
Yeah, like I run a little bit, right? Now, my pet hate is when I see like people do a 10K run and they're having a beer straight after the run, and we shouldn't be encouraging that. Like alcohol, in particular, alcohol is the only drug in the world where you don't need permission to buy it.
Mate.
Yeah.
It's a spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit in you.
Yeah, there you go, all over. It's an Arabic word. I told you. It's to remove your spirits. So look, that's fine. But as adults, we shouldn't be it shouldn't be institutionalized in our culture, because it does more damage than good, and we know that.
100%.
And the positive influences,
I'd say just the people I look up to. One of my brothers, Jason, he's been a big inspiration, even though he's younger. He's just got drive, determination, direction, disciplined.
What's he do?
IT.
Good on you.
He's the guy doing all my IT background support. He's the one doing my he wants to be in the background. He doesn't want to be out there, but he's got a couple of businesses. He started the QR code eating venues called Grazer. Very, very doing well for himself. Mate, I'm so proud to have him as a brother. He's launching a $250,000 platform for my car giveaway thing. It's going to be pretty wild. It's launching it before this car. And mate, him and my other brother Simon, they're both in IT. And mate, I just couldn't ask for 2 better brothers.
How good's that?
How's their
blessed with Simon and Jason.
As a reference point, right? Because obviously, I'm waiting to sort of come and say something here, but so you've gone through the wars. We understand all that. Yeah, you've had this, then you haven't had it. Now, looking at those influences, is it a case that shit, they've actually done okay on the work side of things, which is awesome. What's their home lives like as well too? Is it sort of matched?
Yeah, their home life's good as well, man.
Yeah,
They're
so it
like,
works.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're again, they don't drink booze, they don't smoke, they don't do drugs. They've got a very good woman
Yeah.
by their
So
side. That's the most critical part here, guys. The
So
woman you
he's- yeah.
choose will dictate your life.
John, I'm so glad you mentioned that.
I was going to say this, and there was just a second point, and then go for it. So there's all kinds of influences or someone inspiring you. You can be inspired at a work level and go, man, shit, they've achieved things. You can be inspired at a household level too, where everything fucking lines up. Yeah?
Well, everything in their lives does line up.
Yeah.
I think
So,
that's why I chose them as my.
yeah. It makes sense. I
inspiration.
mean, and, younger, older, doesn't matter. I've got people I work, I'm going to say this for, and I've seen some turmoil in the office here and there, and I've seen, mate, like, people are blowing up over shit. And here's this guy, he's just kept it monotone, but respectful a whole lot, and nothing's bothering him, and he's just getting the problem sorted. Yeah?
It's
So-
such a powerful thing.
Some have just got that in it. Yeah? And,
My
yeah.
you know that saying, behind every great man, there's a great woman. I actually disagree with that. I think side by side, when you have a great woman, she's
Yeah.
right by your side. Like my fiance Sarah, she's always by my side, brother, never behind me. And most people have been in my situation would never trust a woman again. They just
Yeah.
wouldn't. No, I trust her wholeheartedly my whole life.
Chad.
I never blamed it on women. I blame myself for my choices, what I attracted, and there's a reason why I attracted that.
Yeah, but-
and I think
yeah, you
most
changed.
men, if you say that,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what people do.
I'm with you, brother. I did attract it, and mate, I needed to learn that lesson to be elevated to the next level, guys.
This is why I got you here, brother. Like,
So you both changed. Yeah? You both changed.
What we're talking about right now is such a powerful thing. A lot of guys don't even will never be open about that. They'll never entertain that. They'll deflect it. You attract exactly what you put out. Yeah,
100%.
very simple. Yeah, no, good on you, and you're very blessed to have people like that in your life. And I've got, my brother and sister. I owe them a lot as well. They've helped me a lot through our challenges, and the kids. When we got kicked out the house, my kids ended up staying with my sister because I was a very dangerous man, Chris, and my kids couldn't be with me. And I'll share this. I really want to share this because I only remembered this the other day, or my sister reminded me, I should say, the other day. When my kids were removed from their home, obviously my kids were with my sister, my two daughters, my son. My son was only 9, and my sister saw him do it a bit tough, early on. And she said, Max, she said to him, why don't you come stay with me tonight? Stay in my room with me tonight. He said to her, 9 years old, Chris. He said, no, Auntie Nadine, I need to grow up and be a man. 9 years old. So,
Who taught him this?
mate, I raised my son the way my father raised me. Very simple. So it probably came from my grandfather and my father.
Someone must have been feeding into you have to be a man. You have to
Well, is it wrong? Is it wrong? We have to be men. We have to be men. We have to. There's a saying: "Take it like a man." Now, obviously, look, with me and my kids, I was very blessed because I picked them up and dropped them off to school all the time. Right now, I didn't know this. I'll tell you, and I didn't realize the impact. Because I spent a lot of time taking them to school and hanging out with them. I work from home a lot, so when I'm on work calls, they'd be in the background hearing me, and I wasn't really aware of that. And I'll give you an example. One time we were driving. He would have been about 4 years old, and he goes to me, Dad. I said, yeah. He said, when I get older, what should I buy? A house or a car? And I'm gripping the steering wheel, Chris. I'm thinking, where's this kid getting these questions from? I'm thinking, how do I answer this? I said, well, if you buy a house, it goes up in price. And if you buy a car, and this is like a very special, unique car, it goes down in price. He goes, oh, is that right? I said, yeah. He said, okay. He said, I know what I'm going to do. I said, what's that? He said, I'm going to buy a house. And when it goes up in price, then I'm going to buy my car. So I was in shock.
Very smart.
You're very smart. But what I realised, all these years of me talking on the phone and, shop talk or call in front of him, it filters down. That's why you become
They're very smart kids.
Yeah,
they're very smart.
They know more about us than we do. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's my gift. So growing up the way you grew up in that sort of environment or that sort of situation where your dad took off, did it would have shaped your views on family and relationships in particular way? You would have said something to yourself about how you want to be when you
Yeah,
go.
I did not want to have a broken family. You know, when I said I do, I fucking meant I do, guys.
Yeah.
You know, and they reckon 80% of women are the ones that, you know, break up the family unit and want to pull out because they got too many options now. This is what I feel. Could be wrong. So, yeah.
Well, as I said to you before, human nature hasn't changed. Human nature's been the same way for centuries, right? So what's changed? Technology has facilitated all our vices. Internet.
Yeah.
Even like a very, like the internet is designed to, people think it's designed to serve you. I personally think it's designed to intrude you.
Well, I was walking the streets the other day, brother. I don't know. Do you tell me if I'm veering off topic? I'm walking the street handing out flyers for the promo car, right? And women are looking at me like as if I was raping them, about to rape them, or fucking I'm about to hold them abduction or something. They did not want to communicate or even engage. The ones that I did finally get through, I did say, hey guys, 20 years ago, the dating scene, a man would approach a woman. All right. I'm not interested, but nowadays, tell me the truth, honestly, how much influx of men do you have in your inboxes? And they said hundreds, of people trying to, oh, you're hot, you're beautiful, we should go out. So they're inundated with all these volumes of men, which has now decreased our value of men because there's so many options. And I'll say this is very important. It is easier for women to change their man than is their behavior towards their man. And this is why.
And it's
we
also
don't vote anymore, guys.
socially acceptable to change partners. Yeah.
Well, it's easier.
Yeah.
It's easy for women rather than be held accountable and bruise their ego.
I think I said
He's too hard. He's controlling.
I think I said this.
I'm going to go get a new.
Yeah, I think I said this to you yesterday on the phone. I'm not sure why we celebrate weddings. We should be celebrating 20-year wedding anniversaries.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know what I mean? Really? I think why are we still celebrating beating drums and spending $100,000 on the wedding? No. You should sign some little ceremony and then celebrate the $150,000 20 years down the track. It doesn't make sense.
What I don't understand is it says through thick and thin, like that person made a decision, they said yes, but they didn't mean it. That's the thing. Like when I said yes, I meant it, and I meant I would stick through thick and thin, through sickness and health. I meant it. Well, they don't.
What's changed? I'll tell you what's changed. Right? How disposable. Right, and here's my perfect metric. In the background, you got that car getting sorted. Gets to a point, wears out, you rebuild it, whatever the case. But you take care of stuff or you refresh things. These days, you go buy a brand new car, right? So my daily's an i30N, it's Hyundai, nice car, but it ain't going to see 150, 200,000 Ks. It'll be parted out by then, right? That's an example of cars. I work in housing. Housing's disposable. Like in Melbourne, we set your slab on foam pods. Where's it actually going to be in 20, 30 years' time?
Yeah.
So when you have that mentality and even expensive things that you sacrifice for to have in life, the car, the house or whatever, what's also expendable is your family setting. I do is sort of like really for now. Yeah?
And subconsciously, people don't realise they're addicted to consuming and spending.
Yeah, they are.
So, okay, growing up as kids, right, Chris? If someone said to you, you're going to have your house paid off by 30, you'd be like, wrapped, right? Mm-hmm. But you get there, it's like all of a sudden we want 3, 4 properties and more and more and more. Well, you make millions and then you start competing with the multimillionaires. Like, no one's happy. The wealthiest of all is the one that's content with the least. Do you know what I mean? That, for me, I've always been like trying to keep my feet on the ground. Or whenever I bought something, and this is how I handled, we'll call it loss, right? Loss of material. Whenever I bought something like a nice car, which I rarely did, I would always say this to myself: don't take the high if you can't handle the low. Just guys alone, forget their misses, put their misses aside. They lose their misses, that's one thing. But when they can't handle, they're losing their wealth as well. So that's not an easy thing for a lot of people, yeah? And
100%.
But I want to talk, speaking of wealth and stuff, how did you get involved with starting your own business and stuff? And tell me what that looked like.
My dad said to me when I was younger, maybe like 25 or 28, and he put his hand on my shoulders and said, "Son, there's no money in mechanics, son. You're wasting your fucking time." I thought, yeah, fuck you. I'll prove you wrong, motherfucker. Excuse my language.
That's right.
And I used all my knowledge right up to the age of 30, and then I decided I'm going to start my business.
Did it take off straight
It's
away or struggle?
no, so I was working at a car yard, get car loans. 10. I was managing a shop of 10 mechanics. And that was good because that was the knowledge I needed to know how to run a business, like the nitty gritty side of it. So I started up a mobile roadworthy business. So I was doing a roadworthy before work, a roadworthy after work. $100 a pop. So I was making 200. There's $1,000 on top of the wage I was getting, 2,500 a week. And this is going back when I was like 30. So it was a pretty reasonable wage back then for the average. In my group of friends, and then I moved to leasing a little shop because I thought I could make more money if I could do this full time. I leased a little shop, $300 a week, half a shop, and then I ended up taking over the whole shop, and then we expanded to the outside area, and we've got like this massive area, 5 staff, making a minimum 5,000 a week. I think the best week I made 26,000 after wages and GST and all that shit. It was good money earner, and I was doing what I like doing. But
So again, I know there's orders and stuff, so we all got to be careful what we say. And I'm not sure which partner was involved in your life at the time, but whatever partner it was, you can say I can't answer it. Did your partner was she supportive in that?
no, not at all,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
Now that I look back, not at all.
So
At the time, I thought she was by saying, "Have a good day at work," but never came down to work. Never brought my daughter down to work. Whinged and whined that I worked too much, but I was providing a great, lifestyle. Never whinged about the $20,000 a year overseas holidays, New Zealand, Japan, Canada, America, multiple times, mate.
The
Never
reason
whinged about the new cars, just that I was working too much.
the reason I asked that, nothing gets my respect more than when a woman is extremely supportive of her husband and vice versa, right? In a business or venture. To me, that's something I actually admire. I actually now have that now. And it's such a powerful thing, man. Like I've never had that in my life.
Did you say you have that now?
I do with Sarah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, oh, mate, she's the most.
Mate, it's only a dream to me, brother.
No.
I haven't had anyone support me. My
I'll
whole
be
life.
I'll be honest. So when I found myself in a beautiful relationship, I had to adjust. Stuff that I was so used to things going wrong that I'd almost look for stuff to go wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Going from, I'm not talking about a particular relationship, just to be clear. I'm talking about my experience with toxic relationships in the past is when that's what you're being conditioned to, it takes a while to adjust to the new. And I'll tell you now, the greatest thing a man could ever have is his woman that's his number one fan. And at 50 years old,
100%.
I now have that. And that's why I wanted to do Chaddy Issues as well, one of the many drivers. I never wanted to do this unless I got to the other side. I wanted to be the example of others what awaits. Because I know people, when you go through this shit, you doubt your whole life, man. I used to sleep under my desk at my office, no blanket, no pillow, nothing, right? I did that in COVID, man, like just So I've been there. I've done it. I know all the dark feelings and stuff. And that's why I'm doing this because I know a lot of people, for a lot of guys, know coming back from this. And that's not, I want to do something about that as much as I can, and I'm here with Johnny and yourself, people that have credibility. And not only people have credibility, people that accepted things for what they are and they just generally want to move on with their life.
By the way, acceptance doesn't happen instantly. Yeah? It does take time. Like, I'll tell you straight.
It took me 4 years.
Yeah, same.
Took me 4 years to heal.
Yeah. And that's expected. The one that moves on instantly, mate, like you haven't fucking even touched on the subject yet. You were avoiding confronting that. And that, I'll tell you straight, bro, that was me. Like, yeah, I got this. You dust yourself off all the bullshit. I wasn't fucking remotely close.
And just on that, I want to talk about something that something that I never did. I see a lot of guys online, they'll do two things. They'll break up with their missus or whatever. A week later, they're with another chick with a photo.
Yeah.
To me, That's the weakest form of man on the planet, right? There's no
Boy,
strength.
that was me, brother.
Oh,
I was 3 months. I was into a supermodel,
yeah.
absolutely banging bod, but validation queen. Put a pussy out there on social
Yeah.
media.
Now I'm not saying not to
doing
go see
shit,
someone else. I'm just saying
lying. The biggest narcissist I've ever met, brother. But I needed to meet her, and I thank her very much. You know exactly who you are.
this is exactly this
thank
is
you.
See? Well, I
Now
told
I've got
you.
an arsenal of tools in my toolbox to defeat you, motherfuckers.
So that's exactly my mentality. You have to have that mentality where you thank the ex, man. You thank whoever's done the wrong thing by you. Once you get to that place, you start smiling. You start laughing.
Yeah.
You know, eventually you'll be able to laugh at your past.
Mate,
Can I throw something in there?
I used to go, why the fuck did this happen to me? Fuck this, fuck that. Now I'm like, thank you, Spirit, for redirecting me to abundance, away from that trash. So
I'm gonna throw just cat amongst the pigeons. Actually, I reckon it's a valid question. So, how long ago was that for you? Like time frame? How many years ago?
So
This,
2021, August 2021 was the breakup.
I'm talking about this Instagram queen or whatever she was.
Oh, well, yeah, 2021 August, so it would have been December 2021.
Right.
I was trying to fill a hole, a void of losing everything.
I get it.
We all did.
I
We all
got-
did, brother.
I've got a
We all
question
did,
though,
yeah.
right? So my question is this. So let's fast forward now to 2026. You've gone, so that was you, and then you've done that, right?
Yep.
Let's continue with Instagram and all the bullshit, and you're going to continue with real things called life and fucking improving. Fast forward to today. Is she still doing the same shit she was 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
where the
funny
great
thing
sits.
is, I was quite impressed that she had 425,000 views on a photo that I took of her at the beach, right?
That wasn't for
And
you, though.
in 90 days, 1.2 million views on my platform, brothers. So congratulations to me, eh?
Yeah, that's really those
But I
ones.
didn't even
yeah?
have to pull my panties down.
You know what's sad, Chris?
Yeah.
Is there's no shortage of suckers that'll line up to take your place within 5 minutes. And even if you warn them about her, they'll still go there.
Yep.
And then they wonder why life never turns out the way they want it.
But Chief, that's my point.
It's your choices, man. It's not the big choices, it's the small choices.
But I find that everyone is put through this same test, right? This same, let's just say you got a Sega Master System. We're going through level 1, level 2. They might be stuck on level 4, yeah, where they've got to repeat the same level until they get it, and then they'll elevate to level 5. Well, the Jezebel spirit, I would say, was my level 4. Like, and I had to repeat that level a couple of times. I went back to that same abusive partner. She'd put cigarettes out on me. She'd punch me in the face. She'd accuse me of cheating on her. She'd then go and film it.
Because she was.
Film it. She would then film herself getting pounded by a dude and send it to me as revenge. I needed to go through all that. So I even got a tattoo.
Wow.
Such a gronk on the back of my leg. That was a reminder not to go back to it, because I probably would have gone back for another one 5 times, but I didn't. I elevated. I cut it off. I put distance between disrespect, and thanks Spirit for fucking sorting that out for me.
I want to talk about 2 things. That word respect, will come back to that in a sec. But so you said there, like, everything has anyone ever hurt us or done the wrong thing by us, or have we allowed them to hurt us and do the wrong thing?
We allow them to hurt us.
Thank you, my man.
Yeah, no one hurts me anymore, brother.
I'm gonna say that again.
Opportunity. And if they do it, and I tell them, hey, you gotta, if this happens again, man, they do it again, I'm coming. There's
Chris,
not even a
this is why I've got you.
Fuck off.
This is one of the many
See you
reasons
later.
why I've got you here, because you've done the work. I can tell you've done, and you're still doing the work, right? We're still doing the work, yeah. And you know that word respect, right? I'll tell you now. One of the worst things that can ever happen to you is when you're out with your friends, whatever, and as soon as your partner sees someone else, she starts having little snippets about you in front of him. That is one of the biggest red flags on the planet.
100%.
Right? I now have a woman that if she gets wind of anyone saying a little thing about me, God help him. And we're not talking God help him, fuck you in a public. No. This thing called elegance and decorum, right? But she's got my back. And it's not enough to love a woman or she loves you. No, that's not enough, dude. The number one ingredient is respect. You know, you can love a woman or a woman can love a man and still cheat on him. But if a woman respects a man or a man respects a woman, there's no way they'll cheat. To me, respect is the number one thing.
Respect to us. This is how I see it. If a woman respects me, that's how I receive. That's love to me. If they can respect me, that's loving me.
Yeah, 100%. But you'll never attract respect from a woman unless you respect yourself.
100%.
And when I look back, I was a
100%.
clown. I was a clown that attracted, the monkey, the circus
100%.
monkey or whatever. So that's why I told you, Chris. In my divorce, or most men in their divorce, they go external. I went internal. My life became like an episode of CSI or air crash investigations, right? I wanted to repiece that jet back together bit by bit. I wanted to make sure that if I jumped on the plane ever again, it's not going to go down. And that's why I took my time, 4 years of running. Running was my therapy, alone time. And I know you understand this too. There's a difference between being lonely and alone. John, do you agree?
100%. There's a saying I used to say, you can be in a room full of people and be lonely. Yeah? And you can be alone and entertained. Because sometimes being in a room full of strangers or thinking that you're amongst something as opposed to just being on your own is fucking the worst thing possible. I've told you I've had moments that like I couldn't get out of there quick enough.
Has your circle of friends changed in all this? Have you started associating with different people? Have you let go of some others?
100%, brother.
Yeah.
I could only count my circle of friends on one hand.
Perfect.
And two of them are close family members. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's very small, but it's very they have high values and morals and ethical standards. So quality. Yeah.
Speaking
You
of small,
don't need an army. Remember, you need a few great ones.
Speaking of
I
small,
don't need validation from anybody.
No.
So, and they're the ones that that a lot of people think I need all these people. They're telling me how fucking good I am. Nah, I don't need any of that. I know exactly where I'm at. And,
it's probably worst of anything, mate, because
through
it's
the bullshit.
Yeah.
Speaking of
It's not
small,
authentic.
so when you had a small one, a baby, and you became a parent, how did that change your perspective on life? How old were you? And
Oh, mate, I was so she's 8 now. So fourth birthday was the 10th of August 2021. So I'm dyslexic, guys. I can't figure this out.
You're like me.
But so I'm 45 now. So I would have been late 30s.
37,
32.
I'm getting. 37, 36, 38 right now.
37. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm fucking shit with maths.
4 years ago, yeah.
Mate, it was the first year or two was fucking hard, mate. She had reflux. She was fucking crying.
My daughter had the same too, man. Didn't stop. It didn't stop.
Mate, it was fucking full on. Excuse my language, man. It was full on, dude. And but after that, when she could start walking and daddy and want to go for riding a bike and walk the dog and play in the sandpit and then I started taking to swimming lessons and then we were doing holding your breath and swimming and so we go to different aquatic parks and she loved it. The mother didn't want to come with us. I didn't understand why at the time.
What's her name, Chris? Your daughter's name?
What's that, sorry?
What's your daughter's name?
Stella.
A beautiful name. When was the last time you saw her?
2022, the 2 weeks before Christmas.
What's your message for her, brother?
Dad loves you a lot. He didn't want to. He still wants to see her, and unfortunately, I'm not going to name who it is, but someone's made us so we can't see each other. All right, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing with the 50/50 Parenting Foundation. I'm trying to bring awareness, but document what I'm doing so you've got something that you can look back on and say, hey, Dad did try. Not just for you, beautiful, but for every fucking father that doesn't have voice or child that's been alienated from a good parent. So,
and then Stella, in time, I'm sure you and Dad will reconnect, and it's actually very important to see this because this is the truth, and this is a platform that people need to see. And just on alienation, a parent will never alienate a child from her mother or father. Only an alien will alienate their child from a good father. You know, good parents take care of their shit, and there's no alienation and abandonment are one of the two lowest forms of humanity, and the only people that alienate, or the only aliens that alienate or abandon their children are the ones that think nothing of hurting others, and they're in a very, very unhealthy place. And a lot of them actually come from broken homes or challenged homes. Now, a lot of people come from broken homes and actually do something with their life. They add value, right? In particular, I know a brother and sister, okay? One's a great person and the other one's, not so great person, and they went about things completely different, but they came as parents, and both came from the same house. So, so people that have been hurt, you think they wouldn't hurt others, but it's actually very common that wounded people love hurting others. So,
what I found is I would go off, well, how could they do this? Because I couldn't do it myself, right? So you can't understand how these people could do it. So I studied this for 4 years. What type of parent alienates a child from a good parent? If there's no abuse, none of this, any of that. And it comes down to narcissistic traits. And then I dived into that further because I studied mental health, schizophrenia, BPD, narcissistic personality disorder, blah, 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 and the spectrum all in between. Fuck, I should have been a poet. That rhymed. Anyways, then I was looking in the biblical side of things in the Bible, and then I come across the Jezebel spirit. And, the Jezebel is control, manipulate, intimidate, and then like with, false accusations, they attack you. And it's just a form of control. And it is about control. Sometimes it's not even about the money; it's about the control. But
they need your energy, Chris. So I'll give you a compliment. The fact that you've had engagement and involvement with a narcissist actually means you're a great human, because
they only go for empaths.
They need your energy to function and feel normal.
Yeah.
And by the way, as soon as you meet them, they also have an expiry date waiting for you. Okay. Here's the other thing. The other thing. So in 2020, if you ask me what a narcissist was, here's my exact response. I don't know, Chris. Someone that loves themselves, right? Now, the word narcissist comes from a Greek, I think, god or whatever it was. And what happened is that he loved himself so much that he would look at the reflection of of himself in the lake so much that he ended up falling in the lake and drowning, right? So narcissists, basically, they have a demonic entity. Right, they have a demonic entity in them, and the best way to describe it, if you ask me what a narcissist is, and this is the bit that I want trying to help people to understand it, because as you know, you're not going to know that you're with one until you leave.
100%.
While you're in it with them, you're not going to know. And we're just generalizing here. We're not talking about anyone in particular. We're just generalizing.
And there's different rankings here, guys, from 0 to 10. 10 being the fucking most putrid narcissist you'll ever meet.
Yeah. So there's a lot of narcissists.
Encounter a 6.
Yeah, there's a lot of narcissists actually successful in business. As well as they're CEOs and stuff. Not the best of fathers and parents, but they don't actually go out and destroy people's lives.
That's called management.
Yeah. So, but if you had to ask me in my own words about narcissism, here's my response. First of all, they're not narcissists. They're aliens. Okay. Secondly, they will also introduce you to the most cold and evil world that you'll ever see, that you've never known that existed, and you won't know until you come out of it. But here's my advice on dealing with them: as soon as you know, and by the way, if you're going through a divorce with a narcissist, you can expect the worst of the worst divorces ever. They don't want the money. They don't want any of that. They want your soul. So what my advice would be, do not give them any airtime. Control, Alt, Delete in your head. No airtime. Do not think about them. Do not engage with them. Control, Alt, Delete. And like I said to you, but when you do the work,
They're looking for drama and chaos.
they love it. That's actually how they feed
Love
their.
it.
Yeah,
Feeding them.
they love it. Always the victims, yeah, Chris. Always the victims. Someone's
Always.
yeah, and
can never be held accountable for anything
no.
they do.
So if you caught them cheating on camera, live in 4K, if you had Channel 7, Channel 9, right there, helicopter, the whole lot.
That's not me.
They'll do what
someone else.
They'll do what R. Kelly said when he was eating that girl's ass. He got caught on video. He goes, "Wasn't me." That's what a narcissist will do.
100%.
Or it was their fault.
100%.
And by the way, you'll never expect an apology. You never get one. Secondly,
No.
here's the other thing. So when you look back, they never loved you. They never, ever loved. They don't know how to love.
I loved what you could give them.
Yes, the resource, the stuff, the attention, validation,
The
sex, and all that.
outcomes.
So
Michael,
just
Yeah.
on that,
There's always an ulterior motive.
They
with
love
these
the
things.
outcomes.
I think
there's- men.
we've described it pretty well, and we just
Can I,
want to.
can I just throw this out there? I had this happen to me with two partners, and the first time rattled me, and the second time, like, fuck, there it is again. It's just, and I'm not picking on sexes, but when I had, we'll call them one of the exes say, oh, that question, why do you love me, right? Now I'll tell you something, I fucking hate that question because it is task-based is what I've found, okay?
Yep.
You got to sit there like a dumb fuck and go, oh, you will, you're good at this, you're good at that. I love this about you. You got to sit there like a list. So let me get this straight. If I wipe that list clean, what are we dealing with now, right? You know what I mean?
Transactional.
It happened to me twice.
Transactional.
So someone said to me once, and it kind of stuck. And again, if you've got a good woman that's bucked this metric, bless them. I know you have because I've seen firsthand what Sarah's like, and God bless her if you listen to this. But if it's one of those things where she feels secure, she feels this, she feels that, blah, 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 and it's all this fucking task stuff or dollar related, right? You're in trouble.
I just want to add to that, John.
Fucking big time, because that's a ticking time bomb and that's going to blow up at some point, man. Yeah?
I just want to add to that. So a lot of people have
Be bettered.
a lot of people think they're in relationships, are actually in situationships, and
They are.
And he's
Fucking that's grouse, yeah.
So I had a couple different relationships. The first one out, I attracted a narcissist. Right? Do you know how quick I got onto it? Just straight away, Control Alt Delete. See you later. Right? Now the second one, very attractive, Chris. Like very nice girl, very attractive. But I caught myself. The number one important thing when you have the right woman, you just feel at home, right? So with this particular girl, she's so attractive that I found myself not being myself around her.
Yeah. Yep. I know
It wasn't right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we separated, which is fine. God bless her, great chick. When you meet the right one, you just know you're home. So you can't help feel the love for it, and you can't help tell her. It's magnetic. It's not hard. It should be inseparable, all right? But here's the other thing. Just because the magnetic side of things there, or the energy's there, the chemistry's there, it's not love if it's one-way street. It's got to be reciprocal. It's got to be reciprocal, man. And that's what, there's almost like a little checklist that you kind of have to have in the back of your head, And I'll be honest, Sarah probably won't like me saying this. She doesn't like the attention. Do you know how long it took me to tell her? So in the past, when I had girlfriends and stuff back, I'd wait for them out of ego to tell me they loved me first, right? It took me 2 weeks to tell Sarah I love her. And I started choking, like, in my head, I didn't want to tell her. I just couldn't help but tell her. I said to myself, I said to her, be a fucking man, grow a pair of balls and tell her you love her. Funny, we talk about it till now because she's had a couple of, had hers past, whatever. She kind of didn't trust me when I was telling her. She's like, this guy's telling me he loves me. Something's wrong here. So, I had to step out of my comfort zone. If I really wanted to do things properly, I had to step out of my comfort zone. But when you have the right person, there's a thing called flux. It's not hard, mate. The only thing you should be arguing about is, chocolate or vanilla, or which way the toilet roll goes. You know what I mean? You should never be yelling and screaming. There's no yelling and screaming, man. Not in my world anyway. I'm not going back to that darkness, yeah?
You shouldn't. Communication's key in a relationship, and if you can't communicate on which way a toilet roll needs to go, or like come to an arrangement with that toilet roll, that's an example, guys.
Yeah,
mate. You're with a Jezebel, maybe a number 1 or 2 on the Richter scale. You might not. You might have to go and meet a 10 later on in life, but if they can't fucking communicate and make a decision together, they're not the person for you.
No,
Period.
spot on. Now, I want to come to your vision and your plans moving forward, because I know you've done the work. I know you seems like you're in a healthy place, and obviously we're all going to have our days, all of us, right? So you know, talk to me about the advocacy and 50-50 parenting foundation. Explain to all our viewers exactly what it is.
So the 50-50 Parenting Foundation, it started off and it's evolved from something that I thought was just going to be I thought, oh, how can I generate another business but bring awareness at the same time? So I build cars my whole life. I thought, well, what better way to build a car and then give it away? First one was just going to be free, like no tickets, no nothing. But it slowly eventuated into people donating, because I don't have any income really other than helping other people work on their cars as I travel around. So I've separated the car from the 50-50 because of that reason. I'm doing it as a trade promotion. I had to separate it because I tried to set it up as a registered charity, the 50-50 Parenting Foundation. I got fucked over 20 grand, well, 19,300 to be exact, by two people that had gone through it, that then come forwards and said, oh, I'd love what you're doing. Let's push the 50-50 Parenting Foundation. I gave them 20 grand, boom, lost it. They didn't give me any invoices, so I had to go a different route. So I separated the car from the 50-50 and I started Chris Marles Customs, which is, I build cars, Chris Marles. So let's call it Chris Marles Customs. And now I'm using it as a trade promotion. And anyone that donates money to the 50-50. And then I'll tell you what we're trying to do with that money. I'll donate them a ticket. And we're going to give the car away at Power Cruise 100 at Queensland Raceway on the 13th September 2026. It's worth 40 grand VESS. And then we've got another couple of cars in the pipeline. But now we're actually, with the 50-50, I'm trying to build money, and we're doing social media awareness for kids and young men coming through that, don't know anything about it, and if they see something, don't consent to the orders, that they've got to fucking, foot in the right direction from the start. I'm trying to build a national questionnaire, AI based, where people can dump all their shit. Let's just say, they've been falsely accused. All right, dump it in the Dropbox, like Queensland Police Services have. Drop your evidence in a Dropbox. Well, AI will automatically. This is a $250,000 platform. I'm speaking with my brother, but he's inundated with other work at the moment. So I will get there. But this platform, there's nowhere for us fathers to go to. We're all fucking single fires everywhere. I'm trying to bring all the fire into one spot where we can
by the
sift
way,
through it.
if we can help women along the way as well. So obviously,
100%. Well, this isn't just
to be
men,
clear,
but
yeah.
80% of these victims are men, because of the unfair laws with women and men. The laws of Australia have made it gender bias.
100%.
You know what I mean?
And by the way, Chris, I want to be very clear about this. Our podcast is not a male-dominated podcast. I'm still trying to attract the female on here because, like I said, we need to hear both sides and we need to work together. So far, I haven't been able to attract one. And I'm going to
I'm definitely, it's not, you can't categorize it male-female. Let's just call us all living beings.
Well said,
but the Jezebel spirit does fucking reside in men as well. But it's most commonly women that use it and abuse it.
Yeah.
Same as the system. The DVO system's here for a fucking to stop abuse. But it's now being weaponized,
Chris,
as a nuclear
honestly,
weapon.
Man to man, do you really think a piece of paper is going to save someone's life?
No, the real victims here, brother, and I'm glad you brought this up. The real victims don't go to the police and don't get a DVO because they're going to get fucking killed, mate.
Mate, they know. When you have that kind of guy, there's no second chances. And I'll tell you something else. Speaking of second chances, I want your advice on this, and you, John. If you have made a mistake with your partner and she's gone to the police because you said you did or said something stupid, cool. We can't blame a woman for doing that. Okay, cool. You've both got it back together. Cool. You can get back together. I condone that, right? If you've taken accountability for it. But if your wife or partner has put an order on you as a mechanism for her or his nefarious agenda,
control.
Would you ever advise anyone to get back with that person?
No. Stay as far away as possible and stick to them orders, mate.
John?
The best way to cure cancer is to cut it out before it infects everything else. That's your one chance. Okay? First time's always the hardest.
Because there's such an evil level of betrayal there, isn't there?
Fucking oath, right?
Yeah, we're bred from our parents. Give people benefit of the doubt. Guys, give them one chance. If they can't fucking make the necessary changes, fuck them off. Because they'll test you and test
Instantly.
you. I was benefited and doubted 100 times because she was a beautiful supermodel.
So, Chris,
but mate, it destroyed me. It took me down to an empty vessel. I had to rebuild from nothing.
I've been there, brother. I've been there. Chris, so when a hardworking man works hard, whatever, is it when a woman has a meal on the table for him, is that not the greatest sign of love and respect?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is to come home to something like that.
Yeah.
It is. There's no money value that could even buy. You couldn't even go buy a takeaway meal. That meal that she cooked for her family is like, to me, it's the most important thing.
So
sit down and have dinner
when
with
a
your
man
family.
when a man doesn't come home to that and he comes home to a war zone, how would you describe that darkness, that the soul destruction? Like, if you're
They don't want to come home, mate. They don't want to come home. If you're coming home to a disaster zone and you've battled all day at work to provide, and then you're coming home to nagging, rah, 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 you didn't do this, you did that.
So
Don't expect that man to take a seat at that table.
Let's just be clear. A good man does not want to control his woman by making sure she's got food on the table. No. By the way, a good woman will know that. You don't need to tell people how to suck eggs, right? That's the importance. And by the way, I'm massive on families eating together, right? Massive.
100%.
That's actually the greatest connect and disconnect point in a family is if you don't eat together.
By the way.
Well, the thing is, mate, women need to be taught.
Devices.
Women need to be taught how to be women again.
It's funny you
Because
say
they're
that.
not. They're acting like men.
It's funny you say that, man.
And men are acting like women.
I'll throw something on the table here,
It is.
right?
Yeah.
I actually, because I, something come my way. And I'm speaking to this person at the moment, and it's like she's actually very traditional. She was raised in Europe and so forth. Very, very early days. Let's see what happens. But some points have come across the table, and it's, mate, men and women in a lot of ways are just not fucking men and women anymore, right? It's like we've been herded or something along those lines. She's talking about how she knows how to do all these things and surprised that modern women have gone a certain way, or for that matter, modern men. Yeah, we got problems there.
But by design.
Yeah.
By design.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think back in 2012 when Julie Gillard brought in these he say, she say laws, and then like there's then along the way the cost of living, you need a 2 people income now, so now the women have to
Perfect
go
storm.
work. It's
The
just
perfect storm.
it's slowly evolved.
Yeah. And you know, as fathers, when look, I'm guilty of this, brother. When you're busy trying to build a business and stuff, we do take our eyes off the prize. We really do. We take our eye off the prize. You know, okay, get stuck into your business, but don't take your eye off your family. Right? Make everyone accountability in your family. I'm guilty of that too. Yeah.
That's why you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm guilty too, brother.
Yeah.
I work too hard.
Yeah. Just in summary about the 50-50. So the core of the mission, just in a couple of words.
Truth, fairness, and justice.
Perfect. And how can we help?
Spread the awareness. I'd like to build this questionnaire a bit quicker, but everything's where it needs to be at this point in time. I think just spreading the awareness, just sharing and liking and following. Ideally, like, you know, I'm trying to find some sponsored people to jump on board to help get this platform built quicker because, mate, you know, I also want to bring in, okay, so at the moment, we've got lawyers totally ripping us, our men financially, right? Taking them for everything, extending shit out. Then we've got the duty lawyers. I don't think you can actually get representation if you're a respondent or if you're accused until I'll have to just look into that a bit more. But there's 2 options, duty lawyer or the lawyers. Let's bring out a third option from the people that have gone through the waters, the male advocate groups, the men that out there helping people at the moment. Give them a paid structure. We got 12 months to sort out your property settlement and child custody. First, it starts mediation. There's a criteria list, and we're only going to support the falsely accused and the people that, and you have to cull them out. But that's what I'd like to bring in,
Yeah.
and it's just keep the money in the men's pockets, really, because I got stripped of 1.2 million. There's at least 280,000 in lawyers.
And you don't know, man. You're vanilla. You're green. You walk into a war zone. You don't know. Your whole life's come tumbling down. You looked at these people as your source of help, but you have no clue, you know. So, yeah, I'm happy to help with that, Chris, anytime you like. Just on the family law court system, there are others trying to change it, okay? We know that it's unjust, unfair. And it's also a coincidence that equality seems to exist everywhere in Australia, except in one place, conveniently called the family law court system.
Family law court, yeah, it's not fair at all.
Just conveniently. And by the way, I may get my ass chewed for this, but I'm at a point where I really don't care. I've had maybe 40, 50 court cases, all right? 5 years later, September will be 6 years. Hopefully I'll be done by then. I've had, so most court cases, most divorce cases, two parents in a conflict have one final trial. I had my first final trial, which went for 3 days. Now, Chris, I'm on to my third final trial. Third, okay?
Why 3?
I can't comment about that, but yeah.
Okay,
but yeah.
yep.
So 3 because, you know, two parents conflicting, which is fine. So my mentality is this. We all have our qualms with the family law court system, but I can't change that, and neither can you, right? Or John, anyone else. So what can we change as men? Very, very simple. Our choices. Choose the person we become. Choose our core values. Be the men that we wish our daughters would marry, right? And when it comes to choices, if you, John, myself, look back in our life, it's not the big choices, man, because the big choices speak for themselves. It's the little choices, brother, that we let go. Yeah, the little red flags, the little things. Yeah, so when a woman or man comes into our life, we have a choice to engage and disengage. Understand the power of your choice, and your whole world will change.
Yeah, 100%. They're wise words spoken there, brother.
Yeah, I'm glad. I just want to run that by.
Everyone's got a choice.
Yeah, like the family law courts, we can go on for 3 days about them, but nothing's going to change.
Chief, you know what where the biggest dose or single shot of poison is how quick. Now those small choices, yeah, they're compounding choices, right? This slips, that slips, something bit bigger slips, and fucking off you go. Taking the courage to just sit in that little choice for that little bit longer before you make that decision. I reckon that's where it's at. Because a lot of the times you don't think it's a big thing. You say, yeah, whatever, because you got something else playing out in your mind. That's actually the real problem.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
but I'll be honest.
Hang on a fucking minute.
That
That doesn't sit right with me.
I'll ask both of you.
Yeah.
I'll ask both of you a question. You're absolutely right. Here's another one. When I look back at my life, I wasn't living my true conviction. I didn't know my exact worth like I do now. Like you do now. I can tell. I can see it in what you're embodying here today. You've done. I can tell.
About the
worth. You got to know
thing?
your worth, man.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you're not happy where you are, get up and move. You're not a fucking tree.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll give you a good bit of advice. Everyone's got the catalogue of life right in front of them, right? You can choose anything you fucking want. Go get it, motherfucker.
Bingo.
It's true.
Serious.
Yeah, it's true, man. But as a kid growing up, like when you don't have a father giving you this advice or giving you John's advice, this is how it happens, man. This is why crime's through the roof. Now, kids have always been the same when they're young, right? Always want to run amok, always look for an identity through gangs and all that. But what's the difference? What's been the shepherd? Who's been the father at home? Do you think these kids out at 3 a.m. running through people's homes, carjackings, whatever, machetes, do you think dad's around?
Nah.
So the question becomes, okay, crime's just gone through the roof. Kids have gone crazier than ever. Well, hang on. Ask yourself why. Kids haven't gone crazier than ever. Kids have been freer than ever. Yeah. And the more you let a government get involved in your life, the worse you are. Okay? You know, argue as much as you want with your wife, but don't let the government get involved. we have we consent to getting involved in family law courts. We put ourselves in that position. I'm responsible for that. You're responsible. He's responsible. Don't give them that power. Cost of living, inflation, everything else. You want to give him your soul as well?
Yeah. The thing is too, man, understand, we don't ask 9 times out of 10, we're not the ones asking to involve.
I know that. Yeah, I know
the family law
that.
courts.
Oh, my message is to any idiot that thinks they want to, go down that path because, their life's going to be better and this and that. You're crazy. You're
100%,
crazy.
I agree with you on that one.
Well, look what he lost.
I've just got a quick little thing to add in here if you got time.
Yeah, go for it.
So my wife came to me at the time and she said, she hands me a letter from the lawyers saying there's no reconciling our relationship. This is after my daughter's 4th birthday as I'm walking out to work, right? And I opened up, I thought it was a joke. And then I was like, well, let's use the equity in the house. I'll get another house in the estate. We can go 50-50, blah, 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 blah. You keep the car. I'll keep the money in this. You keep all your business money. No, it doesn't work like that. I'd advise you to get a lawyer. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So she ripped up a house. She could have stayed in the house. She could have had half the money in the bank, the car, 50-50 custody with the daughter, and she ripped it up. And what did she get? Fuck all. She didn't get the house. She didn't get all the shit that the lawyers were going to say. So she'd been dudded by the system. And it's only in years to come now that she'll fucking feel the full heaviness of those decisions that she made. And this is what I want to bring up is there's corruption behind the government, the police, lawyers, barristers, judges. These are all meant to people that act ethically, right, guys? And they hide under the fucking banner and the title of what they are. But once there's 2 types of people, shit cunts and good cunts, right? Once the shit cunts outweigh in any corporation, body or government, then there's corruption. And look at Australia now. Thank you, Anthony Albanese. You fucktard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll stand here and say that. He's a fucktard. Look at his running, mate. A show.
Is he?
Circus.
Yeah. Do you know about the, I forget his surname. The guy's surname was Bonacci, something Bonacci. He was talking about actually how the court systems work. It fucking blew my mind.
It's a business model, mate.
Yeah. So Chris, looking back, and this is probably the most powerful bit in this interview, what are the biggest lessons from your journey that you can pass on to everyone? Kids, parents, young men, young women.
The biggest lesson I learned is you can have everything stripped away from you as quicker than you can even make it. And no one's going to be there to hold your hand and mate, you've got to man up and you've got to pull yourself out of the ground yourself. No one's going to be there for you at all. So the biggest thing is, mate, this is where you've got to look within yourself and heal. This is the biggest journey. You'll be stripped of everything, money, women, kids, and then that's where you'll find your true self. And that's where the warrior is forged right there.
Love it.
That's all I've got to say. Believe in yourself. You got this. I believe in you guys.
So, Chris, you'll agree. The answer is not asking for things to be easier. The answer is asking for you to be stronger. Yeah, you got to be stronger.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, well done. And what's your future look like now?
Abundance, mate. God had to remove all the crap out of my life to make room for the abundance that's entering it, brother. Mate, and I tell you what, I walked into a nightclub, the room the other day, and there's a dude giving the car away. We sticker bombed the club. I went in and spoke to the owner. I said, guys, I come down to personally apologize. I showed him a sticker and he's like, oh, it's all good, you know. Every chick in that place wanted to come and stand next to me and talk to me. 3 weeks ago, I was nothing to them. So this is...
And the thing is, you're doing good, man. It makes you feel good when you do good.
It does, but you know what radiates, I think, and all the social media posts. So let's talk about frequency, high vibration, low vibration. Frequency comes through the air, right? The internet, you can send photos. You can fucking put your phone on a charger. You know what I mean? Look at this. This thing's charging, guys. It's just sitting on top. So there's energy there, right? That energy is coming through the internet. All the good, like, this guy's doing a good job. Thanks. Well done for supporting us, man. I can feel that, guys. And when I go out into public, it radiates off me. Where I walk into a room or the shopping center, every motherfucker's looking at me.
Chris,
I don't know why, but it's energy, guys. I haven't learned that lesson
It's funny
yet.
you said that, right? So I don't respond to negative comments on any of my posts, right? Because I could respond to those people and put them back in their box, but I don't want to give them my energy, right? And one chick goes, oh, she said, oh, how much shine you put on your head or something like that, right? Now watch this, right? Because what that person probably doesn't have in her or his life is the right people around them. And I've said this before, people are like dirt. They'll either wilt you and make you die or nourish you and make you grow. If you saw a photo of me 5 years ago, you would have struggled to believe that that's the same person. What's changed? My morals, my standards, and the people I that allow to that give infect me with all the most beautiful energy in the world. It's such a powerful feeling, man. Right? It's 100% your frequency. When you change your frequency, it literally becomes everything you frequently see. That's how the law of attraction works, mate. And just on what you said before about becoming a man and abundance and how you were smiling, in Winston Churchill's own words, I love a man who grins when he fights. You got to keep smiling, man. Even, like, the power of a smile, brother. You know, like for me, no one's taken my soul, bro. No one. You know, no one. Chris, I really appreciate you sharing your story today. You've infected us with really good energy. I can see the work you've done. I can see you're transitioning, which is very powerful. You're not sitting on the pity potty anymore, which a lot of guys still do. And you're helping others. And that's actually very, very important. It's not easy, but it's a conversation like this that matters. To everyone listening, if this episode has resonated with you, make sure to share it with someone who might need to hear it. And as always, we'll keep having the conversation that others might shy away from. Please, one thing I'm massive on is when this podcast takes off, I genuinely want to give back, right? I'm going to make it known that I give back to others because, you know, this all started when I had orders on me. I was 44 years old on a single bed at my parents' place, and my kids are calling me, and I can't answer. It's a breach. So they texted me. I can't say the whole text, but they said stuff like this: Dad, we haven't eaten for 2 days. Okay?
Stop it.
So I caught myself in that moment, and that's something I never forget. So I plan on giving back, right? It's a much better feeling to give back. And I'm talking giving back to women who are struggling, not just men. You know what I learned that moment, Chris? I understood why good women end up with shit men, and I understood why, and I'll never call myself a good man, but I understand why good men end up with shit women. I learned that intimately, and I'll never forget, and that's one of my biggest drivers. So please, if you can subscribe, share our podcasts, and even so my name became Leb Kelly along this process, and how that came about, because two things. While I faced, Chris, I was talking, I went to say something about the family law courts before. I had 40, 50 cases, whatever it was. I've only ever been in front of a male judge twice. Okay? Just about every lawyer has been in there against me have been women. Okay? So when Leb Kelly was created, in my head, because I'm self-represented, right? I've had 3-day trials on my own. But for me to deal with that, I had to create a psyche, mentality. So in my brain, I became Leb Kelly. I was like Ned Kelly, taking them all on by myself, but I used my Lebanese resilience and my Lebanese mindset, which served me, right? And I brought it into my Australian culture here. I'm Australian, brother, right? So that's how Leb Kelly was created. So if you come from overseas and you want to come to this country, bring what serves Australia and remove what doesn't, right? And by the way, I probably shouldn't say this, it fucking sucks when I see all these refugees, and I'm a refugee myself, so I'm allowed to say this. They'll swim all the oceans, right? 20 kids on their back to get their kids here. And then they'll climb mountains to get here. But ironically, when they get here, they sit here and do fuck all, right? That's what hurts me. This is a beautiful country. I still love Australia, mate. I came here in the best times in the early 80s, Australia. And just because things aren't going the way we want it to go right now, we all of us need to be strong. If someone's having a bad moment around us, they're doing it tough, give them the right words, right? things are going to be okay, and we're all getting tested, right? And we need to stand up for our values, and that's what Chaddy Issues is all about. And I've got the best people on board. I've got John Camilleri. He keeps me accountable, brother. Like, he's got more of a moral compass than me, right? And I love that about him. And we just want to give back. We genuinely want to give back, and we want to raise the frequency, mate. We want to empower women to be women, right? Elegant, and want to empower men to be elegant, mate. Bring back the true masculinity, right? If you want to go be a soy boy, that's fine, but don't associate with me. That's my personal choice. I want to leave a legacy like my great grandfather left me, and my father. He left me with things that men should embody. And I lost my way, but I never lost myself. And now that I found the light, as I said, I want to light up the path for others. And I'm glad to have you on board, John. Do you want to say anything else?
Firstly, man, pleasure to meet you. I reckon I've actually seen some of your social media stuff. I'm pretty sure I have. I'm in the car since we spoke briefly, and I reckon something's popped up on my feed or whatever it is, the algorithm stuff. My point for you, just from an outside perspective, third person from my side, is I admire what I've heard about your story, right? It ain't fucking easy, yeah? Having lost a fair bit myself as well too, and you flick, you're on a path to different things, and I can see it, I can feel it, I can read it in your eyes, yeah? Like you said, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago was something different. Something's clicked in you, and you're doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it from points of greater goodness, not for self. Most people are wired for self. You're doing it for, and you've got fucking pain too, because the stuff that you're missing out on, have been missing out for years. That's to be admired. I'll be watching what you do, bro, and we'll be cheering from down in the southern state. Obviously, I'm sure your work's going to be amazing with the car stuff.
Brothers, respect.
Yeah, absolutely. And mate, fuck, if I'm in Queensland, I'm calling for a coffee. Yeah, I'm just going to warn you now.
Let's do it. I'll hold you to that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to finish this on a really funny note. I'm only going to use 3 words, and everyone's going to repeat after me.
Va fanculo tutti.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Actually, 4 words. I thank the ex.
Yes.
What are your 4 words?
I thank the ex.
I thank the ex, yeah.
Have a good day, boys.
Yeah. All right.